You're now watching Motivation Daily. Let's get tuned in. Hey, what's up? You're rocking with D-Man, and today I'm going to be talking about limitations. Now, limitations, these are the things that we set up as barriers in any type of way that can hinder us from what we got to do. And we shouldn't let things hinder us. And sometimes people can try to limit us. And when we start to believe what people are saying about us, you can't do that. It's not possible. It's too hard. It's not humanly possible. Nobody else has ever done it, so what makes you think you can do it? You know, people start to believe it. Some people take it in like, oh, maybe they're right. Maybe I can't do it, you know? And another thing that can be a very big setback or limit to us is ourselves. Sometimes we can be our biggest limitation out here because we'll tell ourselves that we can't do certain things that other people can do, or we can't do certain things that we believe we want to do. The best way to attack your limitations is by doing things that you feel you're not capable of doing. No one knows your capability. I say that all the time. Even us as people, we don't know our own potential sometimes until we start to manifest it. How do you manifest potential? By doing things that you usually don't do. Or when you do certain things that you do, adding to it. Topping it up just a little bit. Going top notch with it. For instance, when I work out, there's a time when I get on the treadmill, I'll be walking slowly. From walking slowly, it turned to power walking, you know, speed walking, you know. Then from speed walking, it turned to me jogging. I'm gonna express the concept in the way in which I did it. I would start at least, let me say, at 1.5. Then I went up to 2.5. Then from 2.5, I went up to 3.5 on the treadmill, the speed. Then from 3.5, you know, I started getting comfortable. I was like, you know what, I want to go a little harder than this. So I increased it to 4.0. And I started going at the speed of 4.0. And then when I'll get tired, I'll lower it back down to 3.5. And I would do that periodically. So eventually, 4.0. I started doing it. I started to break through that limit of keeping myself down at 3.5. But I gradually did it. If I'm jogging for like 30 minutes on the treadmill, I'll break it down. I'll be like, all right, for the first 10 minutes, I'm going to go at the speed of 3.5. Then for another 5 minutes, I'm going to do 4.0. Then once that 4.0 goes over in like that 5 minutes, I'm going to go back down to 3.5 for another 10 minutes. And then for the rest of the journey, I'll probably do 4.0 and just finish it out. And if I get tired, I'll lower it. So I gradually started to get out of that comfort zone and break that limit that I put myself to, saying, you know what, I'm just gonna do it at this rate. Gradually, you start to peak out. You go a little extra and out and above of what you're used to. And sometimes when it's too much, then you slow down. Just like lifting weights, people who lift weights, they're breaking the limits of what they can carry, what they can handle. They might start off with like 50s. They get tired. The next week or 2 weeks later, we're gonna try 55s. Oh, that's all I can do. They drop it. Then they come back, 55s again. They're breaking the limits. They're working themselves. They're pushing themselves out of their comfort zone to achieve higher results. That's how you break limits. You have to face them. Because the world will set up things to tell us, you can't do that. You can't do it like this. But there's certain things that have been done that till date, we're still in awe of. Because people were like, wow, we're really in awe. We're like, wow, how did that happen? How did they do that? How did they achieve that? Because they weren't limited by themselves or the world. They went beyond the expectation. They went beyond what people said, and they did it. Sometimes we can limit ourselves. No, we can't do it. I can't do it. I'm scared. I don't think I can talk to these people. I don't think I can make my art. Don't limit yourself, man. Keep on pushing. Find a way to get whatever you want done. You can make a way. You can build it. It's a process. It's a process. And the more you conquer, small little steps, baby steps, the more you conquer, eventually you start to overcome and you break those limits that you set upon yourself. You You just have to attack them. It's very hard at times. It's very difficult. Very difficult. It's just certain things I have to break. And I'll be like, wow, this is tough. Woo, going through this. But I face it. I don't run away. And I come back to it. Because I know at the end of the day, I have to come back to it. I have to face it. I have to do it. And when you do that, and you live off not just putting yourself in a box and holding yourself back, you'll feel so free. And there'll be a peace that comes with that. Because you're not held by anything no more. When you're in limitation, it's like you're in bondage. You're limited. There's only but so much you can do. You don't have a wide coverage. I don't want that for myself. So I have to start expanding it. If I wanna dig out of my hole, I gotta keep on digging. I gotta get like boom, 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 dig out, dig out, dig out, dig out. Widen my horizon, find a way to get up out of it. Find a way to escape. If you like what I'm talking about, I got more on the way. Hey, if you like what I'm doing, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Also, don't forget to turn on the notification bells to see more content that I drop on a daily basis. Also, if you have any suggestions or advice for me to improve my content or topics to speak about, make sure you email me at ngns1ent@gmail.com. Thanks for your time and continue watching. D-Man!